Awesome. Awesome. And so this past year we started working together a little bit more. Um, and when I was launching the Woodpreneur mentorship program, I'd reached out to you because and we kept in touch, and I just noticed how you just kept, you know, progressively growing your business. And I would say that what was the thing that you got out, or why did you join the Woodpreneur mentorship program?
So like you mentioned, we've chatted off and on over the years, and but you've always been a great resource for us on kind of, hey, here's what you should try to focus on this next, and see what happens. And we've done those things, and it's worked out well. And it was like, yeah, let's, especially with making the transition to full time, having some outside eyes and ears, where I can talk with you about our certain situation. You can say, hey, why don't you try this? And so it was a ton of fun because you'll see things that we don't see, or see avenues to go down that we hadn't really thought of before. And it's worked out great because we can kind of focus on that, and it kind of hits a whole new market for us when we would have never noticed it or just overlooked it completely before.
Yeah.
So that's been a ton of fun. And it's, an outside view is always a good thing, because you get focused, you get focused on what you're doing, and you kind of get a little bit of tunnel vision, or you can. And so it's very good to have some outside perspective.
What's a result that you got while you were in the program?
So I mean, business has just steadily been picking up. One of the things that you mentioned is being more, let's do some more posts. Let's keep people updated on what you're doing day to day, and kind of showing everyone along the way. And I can't tell you how many times I'll do a quick video of what's going on in the shop, or we'll be walking through the log deck, and someone will send a note and say, hey, I've been thinking about doing this project. I just saw that one you're working on, could we do something just like that? And it's, a direct response from them seeing it, right then. So, before I was just never, you get busy and you're doing things and you forget to take photos or videos or anything like that. But it really is. I mean, that was the big thing. And I always think about this, and you said it takes you 2 extra minutes to kind of snap a photo or a quick video, and then you can look at it later and post it later. And
yeah, you don't need to do it right then and there. You don't need to do it right then and there.
You don't have to stop and think about what to say or anything. Just get it on there and look at it later when you're at home, kind of kicking back and fresh mind. So that was the big thing, honestly. And just being able to, I mean, the response has been great. As soon as I started doing more of that, people were like, oh, I love it. Keep doing this. Like, this is fun to see what's going on in the shop right now, or what you're doing. Oh, wow, you're putting a cover over the mill. That's cool. Like, and I meet a lot of people just, when you post your story, it speaks to somebody. If it's the guy looking, hey, I've been thinking about a mill cover, and we just posted a story about doing our mill cover, those are the guys that are reaching out, and we're chatting about different ideas and things, and they'll have, hey, here's what I did on mine, try this. And so it's been really good. And it's engagement, with our followers that I normally wouldn't have had at this regular of a basis. Just by doing it now, it's been a huge help, and gotten us more business, just because it gets their ideas going too, stuff that they normally might not see, that I wouldn't post about. Now they're kind of seeing on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, that they can see the progression of how this slab is turning into a table, or, hey, here's what, if they've got an idea of a do-it-yourself project, here's kind of the steps to do to go about doing that. So it's been really good.
What, one of the things that I've noticed in just since we were working together is, like, I remember one of the things that we had talked about, because I know you made a lot of money off of finishing work lately, but you really, where your heart is just in this lumber sales, right? And we started talking about we started, I mean, I'm not going to divulge your whole strategy, but we started talking about how you position yourself in your market, right? And,
Sure.
We came up with like who your ideal customer is. We came up with your
Yep.
avatar. And one of the things that kind of came out was just like building this little network of people, around you, right? And some of
Right.
these relationships. You want to talk about that a little bit? That I feel like that
Yeah.
really emerged.
Yeah, it did. It really did. And it was, I mean, exactly like you said, it was kind of pinpointing who is my ideal customer, and what are they doing? What are they thinking about? And kind of getting in their head a little bit. And so once we kind of started thinking that way and building those relationships, and I'm a big relationship guy too. So I've worked with the same on a reversal, I've worked with the same fab shop and kind of my main suppliers for many, many years through different businesses. I stay with them no matter what I'm doing. So I'm a big believer in keeping that relationship going when you have a good relationship. So I want to be that relationship for, some of these local shops and woodworkers and just anyone really who wants to be involved with it. But yeah, once we started on that and kind of let them know, here's what we're doing, here's what we have, give us a shout whenever you need anything, and we'll get you a response right away, and kind of just take care of whatever you need essentially. So it's one less thing for you to think about, because I'm a huge guy on just the raw lumber sales too. I love
Yeah.
sending it out and having them do, basically doing the finish work and have it just super, super pretty when it comes out, and then being, happy with how it all went and the quality of the product they're getting. So that's a big part of it for us for sure. And just like you mentioned, getting to know who that was kind of the big part. So kind of dialing that in was a big benefit for us.
The one thing that so I mean, maybe to sum up the strat is that now Maverick Sawmill is like a platform for other people
Yeah.
to plug into, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we have some pretty, we have awesome clients, and we have awesome partnerships for sure. And they know that they can, you know, right away when they get an inquiry on a project, they can pop on the website or send me a text or an email directly or call, and they know exactly what's available, what they can find. And we are, you know, we can give them the ability to get a response back and a quote back to their client, basically instantly by showing some pictures and prices, and here's what we have now, here's what I can get you tomorrow, kind of thing. And it really is, it's been a great platform for not only for us but for them, just to be able to send stuff out quicker and
Yeah,
quicker responses, which is always nice for their clients.
for sure. I mean, and I feel like there's a lot of people that really struggle with, like, what they have to do versus what they want to do. And at the same time, like, there's this feeling of like, oh, there's not enough for me to eat and everybody else to eat. And you've actually found the opposite. There's like
Oh yeah,
more.
there's plenty. Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
plenty.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. No, it's that's exactly right. I mean, it's
Right? Like, there's
yeah,
more than enough.
there really is. And so, what's good for a lot of the people I'm partnered with is good for me, and vice versa. I mean, it works
Yeah.
out well for everybody. And in my opinion, we're not, I don't want to be taking all the work or as much work from anyone else when they could be doing it. I mean, there's plenty out there for someone.
And what are literally what are the odds in all of our followers and all of the people that we asked to be part of the Woodpreneur community, that there would be two people from that live down the road from each other? So you and Adam.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I remember we were getting ready to do our first call, and I was looking through the invite email list, and I was like, AJ is on there. I'm like, what? So I texted him right away. We had met just before, probably 6 months before, and super nice guy. And I texted him. I said, hey, are you doing this class with us? And he's like, yeah. Are you in it too? And so it was crazy, because he is literally like less than, I mean, 5-8 miles away from us. It's
Wow.
wild. And since then, actually, we've linked up, and he's working with us now.
He told me
You know,
he quit his job.
his day job,
He
and
quit his
he's
day
working for
job.
us. Yep,
Another full-time
exactly.
woodpreneur.
So, exactly. So he's doing it too, and it's been a ton of fun. He's been with us for, I think this is his third week or possibly fourth week, and he's doing great, and we're having fun. And he's a wood nerd too, so it's been a ton of fun. But it's a small world kind of thing, to where just seeing
You
him
guys
was
are
right
meant. You
down the
guys are
road.
totally meant. This
Oh
like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I don't want to take credit, but what are the chances?
yeah,
What are the
right.
chances that he would quit his job, pursue his company full time, and be collaborating and working with you?
I know. Yeah, I mean that was due to the class. I will give you that for sure. That was directly due
That's
to the class
crazy.
because we
I know.
wouldn't
I talked to him a month
have
ago.
made that connection again.
I talked to him a month ago, and he was like, "Yeah, I just gave my notice. Yesterday was my last
Yep.
day."
Yeah. And we've gotten a lot closer since that first class, basically. I mean, it was over and we were texting each other and hey, let's link up again, man. Let's meet up and catch up. And it really did work out great because he was looking to make the transition. And there's still certain things in their operation to where he needed a little bit of a buffer in the meantime. And we were looking for help. So it was just, I mean, a great fit. And we kind of already knew each other anyway. So it was such a smooth transition for both of us on that regard.
So I know a lot of people said the community of the mentorship program was like a big part. What can you talk about the community and like meeting with people? I mean, the program wasn't cheap, right? But like I gave you my all, but everybody
Yeah.
showed up every single week, which
Yeah.
is so
Oh,
crazy, right?
totally. Yeah. They did. And it was a great group, and I'm sure every group that you do it with is going to be a great group because it's kind of, that's the community. And what I think, at least, that's everyone I've met in the community has been so fantastic to work with and bounce ideas off of. And that was a big part of it is, in the class, we have people at all stages. I'm just starting. I've been doing it for 5 years. I've been doing it for 10 years. You have kind of the variety in there. And it was fun to hear, here's the struggles we ran into. Here's what worked for us. Here's our wins. It was really cool to kind of see the progression through everyone in there. I mean, we have uh, certain woodpreneurs there that were, they're hitting their annual goal monthly now. That I mean, crazy.
That was crazy. That
It's
was yeah.
wild. And
That
so
was
it was a
crazy.
ton of fun to hear like everyone's stories on what they've been through and where they're at now. And I mean, just that alone too was a ton of fun. Just having everyone kind of open and openly talking about
In a safe
what the
way too,
challenges
right?
are.
Like you felt
Right.
safe. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, totally. And it was, it's kind of fun because, there's 10 of us, and if one guy has a challenge or one gal has a challenge, we can all like, oh, here's what we did, or here's what we saw that worked well, or I mean, it was a great support community. And then you had your tips and tricks on here's individually what we each need to try to do. It wasn't like, hey, let's all do the same thing. It's like, hey, Nick, you need to do this next week, try that out. And hey, AJ, you try this out, and critique to each person. But we're all in that general team, basically, to where we're all wanting each other to succeed and do better and be able to bounce ideas off each other.
Well, one of the things that I've been doing my best to figure out is like who is like mentorship good for? Who is, because I want to make sure, because I mean I have to say, like, it was a pleasure working with you. You take action, I remember even when we had our first strategy call, like literally the next day I noticed a change in your social presence, and you started implementing things, and like you're like you did your intro post, your re-intro post, right? Like your engagement's gone up,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Like who do you think this is good for?
I honestly think it's good for anyone just unsure of the next steps. I mean, they might have ideas behind it, but anyone ready to kind of grow or take the next steps that just hasn't been in the seat before, and they just need some kind of reassurance, or basically the one-on-one to you break down their business and see where they're going to have their strong points and what to focus on. Because that was our part. I had ideas of what to do, but not sure exactly which road to take on it. And with you being kind of the outside view of, okay, here's what you're doing, here's where we want to go, let's focus on this. I think it's a huge help for anyone wanting to take that next step. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the next step from you know, go into full time if you have a day job. It could be just, hey, I want to increase sales from X amount, you know, 100 to 150 or whatever the case might be. You know, anyone just wanting to dive in and get serious about taking the next step is definitely for them, because the plan will be critiqued to their situation.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, what's the future look like for you? What are you most excited about?
Gosh, honestly, it does not feel like work. So we work, I say work, but we work hard, we work long hours still, and but we have a ton of fun doing it, and it really does not feel like I'm clocking in, clocking out, you know. And like I said, we like having the flexibility of a schedule, but we've been living in the shop still a little bit, and it's just kind of how it goes sometimes, but we will have some flexibility down the road. So the next steps for us is just to keep growing. I want to bring on some more equipment. I mean, we have a pretty good lineup of everything we need that gets us by really well, but I still want to continue to grow and add product and add, like I mentioned, a second kiln, second powered kiln, and we'll have some solar kilns to complement that to kind of pre-dry a little bit. But I want to have a bigger shop in the next 2 years. I want to have, you know, twice the space, and I want to be drying twice the amount of wood and twice the sales. So
Yeah.
it's just keep on grinding and making relationships and sending wood out. And you know, our quality, that's the thing too, we take a lot of pride in what we bring in and how we dry things and the product that actually goes out the door. So we take a huge amount of pride in that, and I just want to be able to do that on a larger scale.
You know, so we came up with we have like a target. Remember who we said
Yeah.
that who we're going after, and
Yep. Right. Yes.
or what we're going after rather.
Yes.
And
Yep.
and the one thing that I do have to say is that one is now that you know who your market, and you know that it's almost like you have to have like this abundance mindset to say, listen,
Yeah.
this is my lane and I'm going to stick with it.
Yep.
Right. And so like, and his lane and Nick's lane is like walnut, right?
Right.
All types of variety, mainly black
Yep.
walnut, but it's like walnut. And he's drying for himself and is a platform and a resource for his community, and he knows who his target market is. So like, if you once you know your target market, you know what you're doing, then you can literally build your business around that. Okay,
Right.
what does this target market need? Oh, they need kiln dried. Oh, what does this target market need? They need flattened slabs because they don't
Right.
have the space for it. You have the space for it, right? What do I
Yep.
love to do? You love to produce usable lumber. You don't like the finish.
Right.
So like, what's the solution for that? Because you have this platform. And I mean, I see the path that you're going, and I'm sure it's like twisty and windy, but like you kind of, you know where you're going, right? Like you have a
Right.
target. So that's
Right.
fun.
Yep.
That's so fun. It's so fun. That's so
It,
cool.
it has been. It has been a ton of fun. Yes.
That's so cool.
Absolutely, man.
And now you got Adam working with you, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's been great. He's been doing really well, and I'm excited to kind of show him kind of the way we do things and learn a little bit from him too on the way he does things. You know, it goes
Yeah.
both ways there, and so I think it'll be really neat. And it seriously was just perfect timing because we were in desperate need of some extra hands over here, so it worked out so good, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Last question. Why should anybody work with me and the sort of get mentored, coached by me?
You know, you mentioned this earlier. The program wasn't cheap. I mean, but that's a good thing, I think, because the amount of effort you put out, I felt like the value was well beyond what we paid, and I could call you at any time. I could bounce any questions off of you. You always had what I thought was a really straightforward path on where to go and what to focus on, and it's worked. I mean, and I saw you do that with the others in the class too on everyone's specific situation that you care about what they're doing and you want them to succeed, and you take personal pride in it as well of, hey, let's build this together. I'm going to help you with the tools and kind of what to do next, but you're going to implement. And I was super happy with it. I would do it again. I mean, it's a promising class, and we got a great amount of value out of doing that with you over the course of 2 months. And I feel really confident in where we're going and how we're doing it. So basically, yeah, anyone that's kind of ready to increase sales, or like I said, take the next step, whatever that step might be, it would be an awesome opportunity for them to take that class, in my opinion.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nick. Yeah, I mean, Nick, I'm down for Maverick. I love the
There we
name.
go.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down for for your business model and how you're approaching things, and yeah, you totally got my support. How can people follow you and check out what you're doing?
Yeah, so on Instagram, we're just Maverick Sawmill. Same on Facebook. Our website is mavericksawmill.com. My email is nick@mavericksawmill. I mean, anything Maverick Sawmill, you're going to find us for sure.
That's awesome.
I've got my cell phone on there. People can call and text anytime. The Maverick is named after my dog, so that's the other common question we get. But yeah, you can find us all over all the Instagram, Facebook, and internet there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, man. I'm excited I'm so happy for your progress. Congrats on the new baby, and yeah, keep going.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, it was great catching up with you, and look forward to chatting some more.
All right, take care.